Hello and welcome to Season 3, Episode 2 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, I've got a live commentary match of the home game against Torquay United. Torquay United? Yeah, Torquay United in the Vanarama National League. Before we get into that though, let's have a little recap of my first month, first competitive month anyway, as manager of York City. So that was the last episode, the live com, the 3-0 away win against Maidenhead. Keshi Anderson announcing his arrival at the club with a hat-trick inside the first 20 minutes. I thought from there everything was going to be awesome, and then this happened. Jordan Slew, the guy who I was expecting to get most of our goals this season, got 24 goals last year. He's got himself injured for 5 to 6 weeks. He's damaged his shoulder. And with the lad who's on loan from Derby, Reese, away on holiday, it means we only have one striker. Anderson is the only fit, proper, grown-up striker at the club. We've got the young 16-year-old Robertson. We've got Matt Breeze who can play up front, but we are a little bit limited in our attacking options. The next game we were at home to Ebbsfleet. I put Matt Breeze up front and brought Jimmy Lee on in the right wing role. Breeze he's okay as a deep lying forward. I'd much rather have him out on the wing where he was so dangerous against Maidenhead, setting up those goals for Anderson. But needs must, I'd rather have Jimmy Lee as a player more suited for regular football at this level than Robertson is, and bring Robertson on off the bench as and when he's needed. We drew 1-1 in this match. Anderson scoring again, making it 4 goals in his first 2 games, and then we conceded, and it was just a fairly boring draw. This was a frustrating game away to Wrexham. I think we were 1-0 down, then it was 1-1, then we were 4-1 down. We brought it back to 4-3 with 20 minutes to go, at which point I took Keshi Anderson off. Probably shouldn't have done that. Took him off, brought the young lad on, and we just kind of stopped attacking. Looking back on it now, I'm not entirely sure why I took him off. I can only imagine fitness, maybe. Perhaps he was tired. But looking at it in the cold light of day, that was stupid, and it probably cost us a point or better in that match, because we were very much in the ascendancy at that point, and I just took the wind out of our sails completely. The board have given us a bit more money. They've injected £110,000 to help with the club's running costs. It shows the difference between the club I've left and the club I've just joined, because £110,000, that would sort Boston out for the year. That was pretty much what our balance there hovered around at for the full 2 years I was at the club. But with York, that still leaves us £60,000 over our overdraft limit. And the cash projection is that we're going to be over £1 million in debt by the end of this season. Over £3.5 million in debt at the end of the season, 2 seasons, in 3 seasons' time. Let's talk like a normal person. Shows how desperately this club needs to make it back into the Football League. Realistically, if we're not promoted this year, which is kind of the minimum expectation to get to the playoffs at the very least, but I'm not sure that's going to be enough. If we don't get promoted, I see administration in our future. I just don't see how the club can continue functioning the way it is, losing that kind of money. It is crazy. I've got my Continental C licence. Unfortunately, because of the financial issues, the board aren't willing to send me for my Continental B licence. That's going to have to wait, but it's nice to get a little bit more qualified this early in my career. Improves my coaching stats a little bit. And that was our next game. We celebrated the cash injection of my coaching badge by beating Bromley 2-0 at home. Anderson scoring again, which I think is 5 goals in 4 games now. And then we got an own goal, which it was weird. The own goal went in as the replay of the first goal was playing. I've not really come across that in Football Manager before. But the replay ended and we were celebrating another goal. I didn't actually see the goal go in until the replay. So it was very odd, but not going to complain. 2-0. And encouragingly, as with our Boston team when we were doing well previously, we're dominating possession, we're creating a lot of chances. It's good to see see a team of mine playing well again. Problem is, we've stopped scoring goals all of a sudden. It kind of coincides with Emil Rees coming back into the side, which is odd because that allowed me to put Matt Breeze back onto the right-hand side of midfield, where he was so dangerous in that first game, and he looks like such a good player for us out on that right wing. But we drew 0-0 at home to Stockport, who are certainly a team that we should be beating. And then we drew 0-0 away at Accrington, who for the last 15 minutes were down to 10 men, who again are a team we should definitely be beating. Encouragingly, we are still creating a lot of chances. We're doing okay for possession. I'm not panicking just yet, especially because the other striker, whose name I can't remember, that's awful. He's not played for me. Well, he's played one game for me in the league so far. I'll remember his name in a minute. But he's fit-ish again for today. So hopefully, having two strikers who are both capable of 20 plus goals a season at this level in the side today will fire us to a victory in today's game. And it's my 100th match in management today. It's a little bit frustrating to see seeing that message that says my York side are playing well below par in the league. I've also had a media report that this is a must-win game for my York side, and I don't really see how that's the case. We're less than a month into the season. Well, we are just hitting the month into the season point. The board are still happy. They're particularly happy with the signing of Keshi Anderson. They're satisfied with my performance as manager. For some reason, they're questioning the signing of Elliot Parish in goal, which I don't really get. I got this with Max Crocombe at Boston as well. Elliot Parish is a good goalkeeper. He's kept 4 clean sheets in 6 games. I don't really know what the board are getting at, but what can I do? And that's why I'm frustrated that it says we're underperforming in the league. Yeah, I know we're down in 9th place at the moment, but our target for this season is playoffs. We're 3 points behind the playoffs. We're only 4 points off top of the league. We just need to string a couple of wins together, and we're right in there. It's early days. The team is still getting used to each other. We've been without last season's top scorer throughout the whole of this run of games. Yes, yes, we've drawn the last couple of games 0-0, but at least we're not getting thrashed. We're not conceding goals. I don't know. Let's get into today's match anyway. We're at home to Torquay. This is the team that I'm going for. So Jordan Slew, there you go. I remember his name now, not just because it's on the screen. Jordan Slew comes back into the side to play alongside Keshi Anderson. Other than that, it is pretty much the team we've been playing all season so far. We've got Ryan Lloyd on the left side of midfield. Corey Francis is the advanced playmaker. James Berrett as the ball-winning midfielder. And Matt Breeze as our right winger. We've then got Eddie Nolan as a fullback on the right-hand side, Keith Lowe and Harry Brockbank as central defenders. I have been playing Dion Conroy instead of Brockbank more often than not, but he's not exactly a world beater, so let's give Brockbank a go, see if we can establish a partnership between him and Lowe. And then we've got Alex Smith as the wing back on the left hand side. We're very limited to what we can have on the bench. We've got Ainsley Pears as a backup goalkeeper, Dion Conroy the other centre back, and then Jimmy Lee and Anthony Dolan are both wingers, one on either side, and Emil Rees is the striker who's coming on loan from Derby and hasn't really been any good so far. All we've got on the bench is 2 defenders and a 16-year-old striker. That's how small the squad we're working with is. Let's submit this team. Media have got us as favourites for the match, which is always nice. We're going to closely mark Jake Simpson, and we're going to let Jack Midson do my team talk for me because I always get them wrong. And we're off, hopefully. Going to be a nice convincing win to start us off in September and get the ball rolling on our season again a little bit. It's sort of derailed a little over the last 2 or 3 games after quite a promising start. But this is pretty much our full strength team again now. I'm still not entirely sure whether Brockbank or Conroy is my first choice at centre back, and I'm not entirely sure who my first choice on the left side of midfield is either. It could be Lloyd, it could be Dolan. But other than that, this is my first choice team. I don't exactly have any different options to bring in if I decide this isn't my first choice team either. So we kind of have to find a way to make this team work because there's no money available to bring in more players, and we can't really bring in any more loans because we've already got about 6. I'm not sure how many you can play at a time at this level, but I don't want an entire team of loan players because that's not exactly going to encourage a team spirit, is it? Right. Breeze has got the ball in a good crossing position. He gets it in to Anderson, and that's why we want Matt Breeze out on the right wing. And Keshi Anderson is so dangerous from those crosses. Breeze has probably set up every goal that man scored for us this season. It's our route to goal. We've got to have Matt Breeze out on that right wing. It's so important. And his crossing is devastating. It's low crossing into the path of Anderson. And again, he's just there to tuck it away. And that's good centre forward play. Surely teams are going to wise up and stop us doing that at some point, but I'm not going to complain while we're still getting the freedom to do it. So Nolan's got the ball there, launches it forward for no one really to chase, and that's put us in a little bit of trouble. Won the ball back though, it's back with Parrish. And we're chasing the ball around a little bit here. I'd like someone to get the foot on it in midfield and just re-establish some control on the game. It's not really happening at the moment. We seem to be chasing around a little bit like headless chickens, and Parrish has made a fantastic save there. The fans and the board don't like him, but that shows why he was playing in League One last year, because that was a clear-cut chance, and it was an excellent, excellent save from an area that he's supposedly weak on in his game as well. My coach reports say he's weak at coming out and blocking one-on-one situations. The other thing I'm experimenting with this season, which you might have noticed me doing it during that first half, I've never really done it before, is when my assistant manager's suggesting things to me, I'm just hitting make changes. Unless it's something completely ridiculous, I am having a quick look at them. But I've never been one for making tactical changes mid-match. I don't really know what to do. I would make sweeping changes like going from attack to defend here and there. But my theory is I let my assistant manager set the opposition instructions before the match. If he's telling me 30 minutes into a game that I should be man-marking their centre forward, why am I ignoring him then? He's watched him for half an hour at that point. He's probably got a better viewpoint at that point of the game than he has before the match when I just automatically let him set opposition instructions. So I'm just sort of going with what he says. And we'll see what happens. If it leads to us throwing games away and losing matches, I'll stop doing it. But it's all part of my learning experience to becoming more of a tactical manager rather than a... Bearing in mind I've been playing Football Manager for over 20 years, I am often guilty of just trying to find good players, throw them together and leave them to it. Kind of the old school way of playing Football Manager. And I know I need to become more tactical and I need to get back with the training side of things. So this is part of my learning process. Let me know what you think of that in the comments. I know it probably makes me an idiot and I'm basically playing with stabilisers on. But, you know, baby steps. Let's make some substitutions. Jordan Slew, he can come off because he's still not fully fit. And I want Reece to be a good player for us. He's not done anything for us yet, but hopefully he's just taken his time to get used to the way we play. We don't really have anything in the way of a central midfielder to bring on, which is a bit of a problem. But I'm going to bring Dolan on for Lloyd, just because I'm trying to decide between those two down that side of the pitch. I'm not sure who I prefer. Dolan, in theory, fits the position better, but Lloyd's probably have performed better in the role for us so far. So, still completely undecided who I'm going to be playing there long term. I'll probably rotate them for months and then decide I don't like either of them. That would be fairly typical of the way I play this game. Reece has scored for us though. There you go. I said I wanted him to come good, and that was a nice finish. A completely different kind of goal from the sort of thing we've scored so far this season as well. No crossing involved. It's just a nice little through ball. He's found himself some space, and he has just buried that into the back of the net. Excellent, powerful finish, and that is a nice little extra dimension to our play that it looks like he's going to be able to bring to the team for us. Right, let's bring on the other winger. Bring on Jimmy Lee, which I guess means Matt Breeze comes off and has a little bit of a breather, which is fine. He's played pretty much every minute of every game so far, so it won't do him any harm to sit out the last 10 minutes. He's done his bit today. He's made us a goal. And I'm quite happy to just see this out. We don't need to see any more highlights. This is a nice, solid win for us to start September off as we mean to go on. And that is a really good result. If you've enjoyed that episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on tomorrow's episode when hopefully we'll be up in those playoff places and starting to push on for promotion as we move into October. Thanks very much for watching.